Welcome, dear learners. I'm Dr. Ashu Tomar. We'll be starting today's lecture on the topic job interview questions. So, first, we will discuss that which type of questions are being asked. Those questions are being divided into different categories. The first one is open ended questions. Now, open ended questions are those questions where the direction is not given, the answer is not fixed. Every individual will provide the different answer for open ended questions. Generally, an individual or an interviewee provides his opinion, his views, whatever thoughts he is having regarding the topic. Like, for example, the question, tell me something about yourself. Now, the answer of this question will vary from individual to individual. So it depends upon an interviewee that how he is answering, because the next question will be invited from the answer, whatever answer will be given by the candidate. Next type of question is critical questions. Now, critical questions where lot of analysis is required. Critical questions are those questions which are asked by an interviewer to check the thinking ability and how much analysis an individual can have. Like, for example, if we are asking that why you have left the previous job, so here the candidate has to think, and he has to put positive words somehow, even if the situation is negative, or maybe the candidate is not having good relationship with the previous company. But then also, by thinking, by analyzing, he has to frame his answer in a positive manner in front of an interviewer. Next one is probing questions. Now, probe basically means investigate. Probing questions where investigation is being done. The individual has to understand the situation, and then after that he has to answer. It stretches your grasp, understanding of the problem, issue, whatever is being discussed. Now, basically, the situation is given, and how the individual will react in that real life situation that is being investigated. Whether he will react in a positive manner, whether his reaction will be in a negative manner. So basically, the interviewer wants to know the true personality of an individual, of the candidate. Next one is leading questions. Leading questions dares you to justify and propose a viable plan for implementation. Leading questions are basically like I had asked a question and then after that you had answered. Then my next question is in relation to the answer whatever you had spoken, because I want to know your personality in detail, that what all you had planned, how you are going to step forward, and what is your strategy in your life. Through this I will be able to know the personality of a candidate. That is why such type of questions are being asked by an interviewer from an interviewee. Next one is challenging questions. Now, challenging questions basically where challenging situations are given, and the candidate has to defend, and the candidate has to justify uh, that how he is going to handle the situation. So it dares you to defend your view by suggesting something opposite. Most of the time I ask such type of questions which is in opposite to your personality. Like, you are an honest, the candidate is looking very honest and truthful, so I'll ask something different which is in opposition to the personality of an interviewee, so that I can judge whether the candidate is comfortable in his comfortable situation, or whether he can come out of his comfortable zone or not, if such situation arises, or if the organization need to do in such a situation. So that is why those challenging questions are being asked from an interviewee. These are some of the questions basically that how we have to answer whenever these questions are asked in an interview, and most of the time these questions are always asked in an interview. Now, most of the time, the interview starts with the first question, that is, tell me something about yourself, or tell us something about yourself. So, your answer must be very positive, and in fact, your achievements must be reflected by you. Because most of the time, the students, they'll answer about their qualification, academic details, whatever they have done. But here we can bring our uniqueness in front of the panelists. That is why it is better to start with achievements, whatever achievements, along with the practical aspect, whatever we have learned. If you have any project, you can discuss about that. But the practical aspect must be focused while you are discussing in front of the interviewer, because the companies, the organizations, they need a person who can do the work practically in the organization. Then you even can discuss your family background, if it is like that situation, like if you are appearing in a defense and your background of your family is of the defense, then it is better to include that answer. It is always you will get a preference if you will include that family background, because same family background always get the chances. There are more chances of selection are there, so we must include these statements too if we get the opportunity to answer. Then discuss your strengths, sports, curricular activities, whatever strengths and qualities you are having in your personality. If they will ask, or if they are asking what is your weakness, then only you have to tell your weakness. Otherwise, it is not compulsory to disclose your weaknesses. Next question which can be asked is, why do you want to join the company? Now, whatever the company is, if it is good company always needs good candidates, and good company always provide good salary, good satisfaction. So automatically, this is how you are going to answer and justify and frame the language of your answer. Next one is, what is your salary expectation? Now, as a fresher, we cannot talk about salary in terms of numbers, or we even cannot bargain. But if we are experienced, then we must go for bargaining, and obviously all our focus must be on the higher side, because we will be going to switch only if some hike will be there in terms of salary. But if we are a fresher, then the answer must be framed in that way, as if instead of quoting the numbers, it is better to speak indirectly, that right now I am looking for the experience, I want to learn something practically, and want to be associated with a reputed institute. As you know better than me, I only need expenditure, as you know better, because you are living in this nearby place. So according to that, this constraint can be put in front of them. So according to that, they'll offer you better. Then the next is, if they ask about your strengths, you will tell the strengths. If they're asking about your weaknesses, then please tell your weaknesses, and also add action plan for overcoming out of these weaknesses. Like, I am too lazy, but how you are working upon that action plan must also be included within that statement. That will show your better personality, in fact, that you realize your weaknesses and you are trying to overcome them. Next is, how do you want to see yourself after 5 years? After 3 years, after 5 years. So automatically the thought process which we must have, that is towards the increasing graph. Increasing in a sense that your level of thinking is going higher. So that level of thinking must be reflected by us while we are speaking, but the answer must not be arrogant. It must not reflect as if your answers or your word vocabulary reflect overconfidence of the candidate. So the answer must be according to that situation. Another question is, why should I hire you? What qualities are there? so that you can prove yourself as an asset for the organization. So again, you have to answer it in a smart manner. Like, better company look for better candidate, better candidate look for better company. So I am this, quote your practical skills as per the job, as per the vacancy for which you are applying, and you will always work for the betterment of the company. So you have to prove yourself as an asset for the organization. Such type of positivity is to be reflected in our answer. थैंक यू. कमेंट फॉर योर डाउट्स. नोट्स के लिए टेलीग्राम चैनल ज्वाइन करें. द लिंक इज गिवन इन द डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स.